Welcome back to the final installment where I help you become a better photo editor in Adobe Lightroom Classic. This week we are covering the final panel in Adobe Lightroom, and that is color calibration. If you're new here, my name is Hannah and I am a travel and nature photographer, and if you've been here before and you're finishing out this series, welcome to the end and welcome back. To start off, the key thing to understanding here is color science. Pixels are made up of red, green, and blue. And depending on the camera manufacturer that you choose to buy a camera from, those pixels are going to be prioritized in a number of different ways. I'll link some helpful resources in the description below. I don't want to dive too much deeper into what color science is, but again, for the basis of this video, what you need to know is that your camera manufacturer prioritizes red, green, and blue to a specific value. So when you take a picture on your camera, you are baking in that camera manufacturer's look to your photo. And the way to change this is through the color calibration tool in Adobe Lightroom. So making changes here in the calibration tool, if I go ahead and change the slider on red, green, or blue, what I'm doing is essentially changing the definition of red, green, or blue. I'm no longer abiding by the color science of my camera. I'm manipulating it to look however I want. The color calibration tool is also a little tricky because it also focuses on areas of an image that appear to have that color. So say an area of an image appears to have more of a red hue to it, but there's no actual red object, you will be affecting that area of the image when you're using the red slider. So essentially it's targeting all of those pixels in the image that contain that red. And the same goes for the green and the blue sliders as well. The color calibration tool can be used for a few different reasons and in a few different ways. So say you get a color cast on a specific hue, but you don't want to change that hue. The color calibration tool will allow you to change that color cast without actually changing the hue itself. You can also make stylistic color changes globally to the image by pairing colors together. So say we have yellows and greens really present in our photo, but we want these greens to be one hue entirely. So you can use the color calibration tool to globally affect that. The color calibration tool is also used to achieve like very specific looks. So say you want orange and teal, or you're looking for a more pastel color palette, you can achieve that here. So here is my color calibration panel, and you can see we have a shadows option, and then we move into red, green, and blue primary. So this is going to allow us to alter the prioritization of those red, green, and blue pixels that I mentioned when we were talking about color science. So let's start here in the shadows. So if I move to the left, we're obviously adding a green tint, and then moving it to the right, we're adding a more magenta tint. And I'm gonna go ahead and reset that. I'm gonna leave it at 0 for this image. So let's toy around with these red, greens, and blues. So you can see each one has a hue and a saturation. So this is, again, changing the hue on a global scale. So even parts of your image that aren't necessarily red, green, or blue, but tend to skew red, green, or blue, they're gonna be affected by these sliders. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play around with these different sliders and see what I like best as a combination. And you can see as I slide these from left to right, it is really dramatically altering the overall look and feel of the photo itself. And like I mentioned, that teal and orange look to photos, you can get that really easily here on the blue primary slider. And once I get the hues to the place that I like best, then I will go ahead and adjust the saturation. Okay, and I'm just gonna adjust saturation one last time here, and I like where we are at. This is before any color calibration adjustments were made. It's looking a little more yellow, and I just feel like it needed to be calibrated to be a little more orange and teal. And this is after, and I think I achieved what I was looking for. And I went ahead and made a few other adjustments in the shadows and in the darks, just back up in my basic corrections panel. Didn't really feel the need to cover that here, but this is typically how I do it. So I go from basic corrections all the way down to calibration. You can start with calibration. I just find it really is the finishing touch that I'm after. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way of doing it. That is just my system. So this is the before and this is the after of the image. So on the left side, we have the before. This is the raw image out of my camera. I shoot on a Sony Alpha 7R5, and on the right, this is the final version. This is with all of the edits that we made. And aside from the obvious, which was changing kind of the composition of the photo, because I was in a car going like 75 miles an hour past these mountains, I really wanted to encapsulate that road trip feeling. You know, when you're like just driving by, going really fast, watching the world pass you by, that is what I wanted to artistically create with this photo. So I did that in camera by slowing my shutter down to get that really blurry foreground and with a focus on the mountains. And then I wanted to take a step further with my editing and really encapsulate that feeling, sort of like you're watching an old film or flipping through the pages of an old magazine. I just really wanted to have that feeling of being on a road trip be so ever present in this image. That's that. We are rounding out this series. We have officially edited an entire photo together. We went through the basic corrections panel, we went down to tone curves, then onto the color mixer, then onto color grading, and then we rounded it out with this video on color calibration. I hope that you're walking away feeling super empowered and just knowledgeable about Adobe Lightroom Classic and how to use these different tools and different panels to best affect your image and bring your creative vision to life. Editing can be really scary at first, but I promise it doesn't have to be, and with time, I've been doing this for 7 years, you will get so much better, but it does take time and it does take practice. So just keep practicing and keep at it, and I will keep posting these Lightroom tutorials to help you become a better editor. If there's anything specific you would like to see, let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I cannot believe we've made it to the end of this series, and I will catch you in the next one.